What if the 2026 FIFA World Cup started today? Folks, today we're going to go through the entire tournament, my entire predictions utilizing the 48 countries I selected in my prior video. If you'd like to understand my full insight into my selections. 417 days until the World Cup. I could not be more excited. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. We'll be doing a lot of World Cup videos like this in the build up to the biggest tournament in world football. Remember that we have 12 groups of 4, but the round of 32 and the first iteration of a 48 team World Cup. All groups have been randomly drawn, so let's see what the computers generated for us and let's go through this. To start in Group A, we have Mexico, Hungary, Ecuador, and Jordan. Low-key a sneaky tough group here with basically all these teams having the capability of playing at a very high level. I mean, Ecuador's in second in CONMEBOL. Hungary had a great winning streak going into the Euros, but then disappointed at the tournament. And Jordan made it all the way to the AFC Asian Cup final. 3 straight games in Mexico for my beautiful squad. I think they do it. I see that Ecuador-Mexico matchup being very, very close, but I do believe with the Mexican fan base behind them, Mexico can get first place here, while Ecuador grabs second. On top, so potentially they can make it through as a third place team. Moving on to Group B, we have host Canada, Venezuela, the Netherlands, and DR Congo. Another really sturdy group here with the host Canada playing a big role, Venezuela qualifying through from the Interconfederation playoffs, the Netherlands, such a strong team, and DR Congo as well, one of Africa's finest. I gotta go Netherlands getting first place here. I think that one's pretty obvious. They're one of the best European powers right now. I know. It's tough to put them above a DR Congo side or a Venezuelan side, but playing at home in every game for Canada, I do think will play a big role for this team. And I think those matchups are going to be really, really close. I want to believe in host magic because we've seen what it does for teams like South Africa in 2010, Russia in 2018. Something positive has to be in the making for Canada. I do think it's making it out of the group, be it in second place. Third place, I got Venezuela. Fourth place, I got DR Congo. Group C has Portugal, Egypt, Uzbekistan, and Honduras. So much variety in this one. I love it. I have Portugal finishing up in first. I think their team is looking very, very strong. You look at PSG right now, they got 3-4 Portuguese players just in that squad that are young. But Nuno Mendes, I mean, come on, the talent is ridiculous. I think this Portuguese side will be a very good one, followed by potential dark horse of the tournament, Uzbekistan. I have Uzbekistan in second place. If you haven't seen them play, try to check them out prior to the World Cup. They play some beautiful, fast-flowing football, and if they reach their true potential, they could get second place in this group. I have Egypt in third as they look to be a very strong African team. Do not underestimate them as well, followed by Honduras in fourth place, so I think we'll just be happy to be at the tournament. Group D has our wonderful host, the USA, Paraguay from South America, Turkey, and Cape Verde. Lots of variety. Once again, this is why we love the World Cup, folks. This is why we love it. The matchups here are just matches we wouldn't typically see in a competitive setting. That USA-Paraguay matchup, ooh, gets me excited. USA-Turkey, are you kidding me? Have you seen the Turkish fans? Oh man, that'd be a crazy matchup, but I have Paraguay finishing in first place here. They figured themselves out since the Copa America ended. I think we're going to see a new iteration of Paraguay show up to the States. They get first place. Figure it out. I have to believe that once the bright lights are on them, once they know that America is behind them, supporting them no matter what, that these players, these great talents that the USA does have, will show up both physically and mentally on the pitch. That means getting second place in this group. USA qualifies through, followed by Turkey getting third place. I think they'll make it through as well. And then Cape Verde in fourth. In Group E, I have this group going in the way that I just listed it. Brazil in first place, Japan in second, Austria in third, South Africa in fourth. All very great teams. Brazil, I think, is slowly getting things together. Still not fully, but they have I think they'll be much better come World Cup time than where they're at right now. Brazil in first place. Japan, undefeated in Asia. They can get second. Austria, solid at the Euros, making it and topping their group at the Euros, but losing in the round of 16 to Turkey. I got them in third. Group F has Uruguay, Ghana, South Korea, and Norway. I like this group. Because we have a mix of experience. We have a classic Uruguay-Ghana matchup that it feels like we see it every single time a World Cup comes around. South Korea could always surprise, and then Norway with Erling Haaland and Martin Odegaard. I would love to see what they could do here. I have Uruguay using that experience, using that history to make it out of the group stage here in comparison to what happened in 2022 where they ultimately disappointed. Followed by Norway in second place. They'll beat out South Korea. I think it'll be a close matchup, but they'll beat out South Korea. Belgium, Croatia, UAE, and Algeria. Some underrated names here, like the UAE, who's been playing some solid football in Asia. Algeria, a team to watch in Africa as they look for that resurgence after missing out on the World Cup in 2022. They're looking much better now. Croatia, I mean, they never die. They're always solid at these tournaments. And Belgium, up and down. How do they look with an older Kevin De Bruyne? I think Croatia gets first place. I'm done doubting Croatia when it comes to getting out of the group stage. They're gonna figure it out. Croatia gets first place here, followed by Algeria. I have Algeria in second place. I think this Algeria team is very underrated, and it's a team to watch going into the World Cup. Belgium gets third. Morocco, Panama, and Sweden. I think this one's pretty straightforward. I have Argentina, the defending champions, getting first place here, followed by semifinalists of the 2022 FIFA World Cup, Morocco, who looks great in qualification right now. Why would they stop here? Give me second place, Morocco, followed by Sweden and third place, and lastly, Panama in fourth. Group I is pretty stacked as well. I mean, I've been looking for the group of death. This might be it. We have Iraq. I mean, these are all solid teams. France, although they can be up and down at times, it's France. It's just such a loaded squad. It changes every single month. You can just go with the most informed player. I mean, Desiree Doué is going to be part of the squad now. Like, that's a player that we didn't even know existed 2 years ago. It's just crazy how much talent they have coming up through the ranks. France gets first place here, followed by an Italian team that I think is looking to improve upon their path. In third, although you can't underestimate Tunisia. They are always here to play at the World Cup. And we saw in 2022, they actually went on to beat France. I mean, they could do something special as well. So this is a tough group. I'm going to Iraq in third. Group J has Euros winners, Spain, Senegal. Very similar group to what we saw in 2022, I believe, where it was Spain, Germany, and Costa Rica as well. I have Spain topping this group. I think they're looking to go on to lift the title here because they're looking incredible coming off of the Euros victory, with Germany getting second place. Costa Rica, unfortunately, I don't see them getting many points out of this group. I have them in fourth, with Senegal getting third. Group K has the wonderful Colombia, Iran, European feisty teams in this group, man. And teams that I wonder how they'll look come World Cup time. Will they be in better form? Because Colombia, I think, can play up to a very high level, which we saw them do here in the States not too long ago. Right now, it's not looking too good. They've dropped in form a lot, but I want to believe that they can top this group with that momentum that they generated by playing football here in America. So I have Colombia figuring it out. They get first place, followed by Iran in second. I think Iran does it. They get second place here. They get out of the group stage. I'm not sure if they ever have, actually. And then I have AFCON finalists Ivory Coast in third, with Greece getting fourth place in this group. The last group to cover here, man, there's a lot of groups. There's a lot of groups. My voice is going away. Group L. We're on letter L, folks. England, Australia, Switzerland, and New Zealand, the Kiwis. England gets a pretty easy group here, in my opinion. They get first place, with Switzerland getting second as they made it all the way to the quarters of the Euros. They're still in third, New Zealand in fourth. And now let's just look at the third place teams. We have 12 third place teams. I have to pick 8 essentially that go through. I'm going to go with Jordan from Group A, Venezuela from Group B, Egypt from Group C, Turkey from Group D, Austria from Group E, Sweden from Group H, Iraq from Group I, and Ivory Coast from Group Belgium not making it through. So the bracket that gives us is just ridiculous. We have some of the dopest, craziest matchups that I've seen in my life, and I just can't imagine these games happening in my backyard. I'm so hyped about that, and I want to be at so many of these games. Starting off with first in Group E, Brazil facing off against third place out of either Group A, B, C, D, or F. We get Group C here. It's Egypt. So Brazil matched up against Egypt. I think Brazil goes through here. It'll be a good matchup, and Egypt could definitely surprise with my boy Mo Salah looking to impose himself offensively. But Brazil has too much talent, too much depth. I think they make it through to the next round. First of Group I, being France, facing off against third place out of Group C, D, F, G, or H. It's Group D that gets a selection. Turkey. We have France facing off against Turkey in an all-European matchup. And for as good as Turkey has been, I don't see them beating France. I have France going through here. Ecuador going up against Canada. Ecuador against Canada. This is a really tight matchup if you consider the host factor of Canada. Ecuador is the better team on paper, though, and I do think they shut up the Canadians here. Ecuador moves on to the round of 16. First in Group F, Uruguay going up against second in Group C, Uzbekistan. Folks, this is where we have our first major upset. First major upset. Uruguay has been up and down. They've been a little inconsistent since the Copa America, and many Uruguayans would say that they're disappointed at the Copa America. They haven't fully figured it out. Uzbekistan, I think, is looking to make a name for themselves and could definitely surprise the Uruguayans here. Give me Uzbekistan going to the round of 16. Second in Group K, Iran going up against second in Group L, Switzerland. Tight matchup here where honestly either side could come out victorious. I'm going to go with the Europeans here, though. Give me Switzerland defeating Iran to move on. First in Group H, Argentina against second in Group J. No, Germany. Argentina, Germany in the round of 32. And this is the thing. When it comes to having a 48-team World Cup and a round of 32, we might get some crazy matchups like this. Just one slip up in the group, and we might see a big team like Argentina have to face off against a major team, a contender potentially, in Germany. That's crazy. That's so crazy. Give me the defending champions, Argentina. I do think there's still a better team than this German side, which is improving a lot. But man, this would be a major disappointment for Germany to get knocked down in the round of 32. Paraguay going up against third out of either Group B, E, F, I, or J. It's Group B, Venezuela, Paraguay, and an all-South American matchup. I look at the CONMEBOL table. Paraguay is higher. They're the better team right now. I think they're going to have so much momentum going into the World Cup, and they, kind of like Uzbekistan, can be a dark horse candidate. Give me Paraguay in the round of 16. And then the last matchup out of this side of the bracket, give me first in Group G, Croatia, against third out of either Group A, E, H, or U, Jordan. Tight matchup right here, where if Jordan catches fire like how they did at the Asian Cup, they could definitely win this matchup. Thing is, Croatia is never an easy out. They're never an easy out, and I think Croatia finds a way to expose this Jordanian side. Croatia moves on. Going on to the other side of the bracket, we have first in Group C, Portugal, going up against second in Group F, Norway. An all UEFA matchup. I think Portugal's the better team right now. I already mentioned their young talents. I'm assuming Cristiano Ronaldo will still be up top, spearheading this team forward. They can beat Norway. Portugal goes through. Second out of Group E, Japan, against second out of Group I, Italy. This is a crazy matchup. This is a crazy matchup because Saltero and I a few months ago had a debate about which team is better, Japan or Italy. I had Japan in my top 10 teams in international football. Saltero had Italy in his top 10 teams. And matchup right here would literally decide it for us. So I have to stay true to what I argued. I argued that Japan is the slightly better team here. I think they have a better offense than Italy, and they will outscore the Italians. Give me Japan from the AFC region, baby, going through. First in Group A, Mexico versus third out of either Group C, E, F, H, or I. It's Sweden getting the selection here. Mexico versus Sweden, a repeat of a group stage matchup we saw in 2018 where Sweden absolutely trashed us 3-0. This is a different Swedish side that I think is very top-heavy versus a Mexican team that is the opposite, I would say. More defensive, more solid, but also has the potential to have some offense with guys like Raúl Jiménez on fire. They're playing this game at the Estadio Azteca. I don't see the Swedish taking over Mexico in a home game like this with this atmosphere. I just don't see it. I can't. Not yet. Not in the round of 32. I can't see it. Mexico defeats Sweden to move on to the round of 16. First in Group L, England going up against third K, Ivory Coast. This should be a pretty easy matchup for England. First in Group J, Spain against second in Group H, Morocco, a repeat of the round of 16 matchup we saw in 2022, where we saw Hakimi pull off the penguin waddle as Morocco defeated Spain in penalties. Lots changed. A lot has changed in 4 years. From Morocco's perspective, quality-wise, I think they're almost just as good as what we saw in 2018. Maybe slightly weaker, but even then, this Moroccan team can do something truly special. The problem here is how much Spain has changed. Spain has completely changed from what we saw in 2018, and they now are, in my opinion, a top 2, 3 at most side in world football. They defeat Morocco here. Spain goes through. Second in Group D, the USA versus second in Group G, Algeria. A repeat of what? Was it 2014 or 2010 when Landon Donovan scored that game-winning goal against Algeria, man? A long time ago. We get to see these same jerseys be donned once again with the USA at home. Algeria's a good team. Algeria's a good team, and if you're Algerian, you must be feeling good going. I have to believe in magic. I have to believe that the host magic exists, that it's a real thing because the numbers do back that. Give me the USA defeating Algeria here. 2 more matchups left. We have first in Group B, Netherlands going up against third out of either Group E, F, G, I, or J. It's Group I, Iraq getting the call up here. Netherlands versus Iraq. This would be a tense matchup. Tense, but unfortunately, Netherlands is one of the most complete sides in world football. The Netherlands will go through. And then the last matchup is first in Group K, Colombia against third out of either Group D, E, I, J, or L. It's Group E, Austria getting the selection. This is really close. My God. And I mean, depending on the day, I could go Austria winning this matchup. I could go Colombia winning this matchup. It's back and forth, honestly. But I'm going to go Colombia just because I saw how well they played here in the States specifically. It was incredible. It took them all the way to a Copa America final where the defending World Cup champions had to go to extra time to beat them. I think Colombia finds a way to defeat the Austrians here. And now the round of 16 is set, and these matchups are incredible. To start, we have Brazil-France, folks. Brazil-France. Are you kidding me? In the modern era, seeing a Brazil-France matchup, I think it's one of the best international matchups just ever when we see Brazil-France face off. I can't forget what we saw in 2006. That matchup was ridiculous. Granted, both teams are in different places now, but still, man, Brazil wants to vie for a World Cup title. They haven't gotten in so many years, whereas France, I'm going France. I still just trust them more. I trust them much more in these major tournaments than I do with Brazil. Ecuador going up against Uzbekistan. I mean, the door's open for Uzbekistan here. The chance is there. They can show up, they can ball out, and they can take down this Ecuadorian side, which is very good defensively, but I think lacks a lot offensively. Problem is, Ecuador is the second best team in South America right now. They're so sturdy. I think their defense will shut down Uzbekistan, and Ecuador will find themselves in the quarterfinals of the FIFA World Cup. That's exciting. Next up is Switzerland going up against Argentina. For as good as Switzerland was at the Euros, I do think there's a limitation on this squad, whereas Argentina, I think, is continuing to play some of the best international football that we've seen. A dynasty in the making. Give me Argentina in the quarterfinals. Paraguay versus Croatia. I mean, the opportunity is there for either team. Would not be surprised to see Croatia find a way to make it back into quarterfinals of a major tournament. But it's Paraguay's time. It's Paraguay's time. Their team is just so fun to watch. The energy is there. If the Paraguayans come down to support, I think Paraguay could definitely surprise and be a dark horse candidate at this tournament. Give me Paraguay defeating Croatia. Now, on the other side of the bracket, we have some great, man. I feel really, really good about Portugal a year out. I feel really, really good. I think they're only going to get better. Portugal wins this matchup despite the Japanese looking to do something special. Portugal's too good. I think they're too good, and they go through. Mexico versus England at the Estadio Azteca. Are you kidding me? Can you imagine this matchup? Mexico hosting Harry Kane, Bukayo Saka, Phil Foden, Jude Bellingham at the Estadio Azteca facing off against those beautiful green jerseys of Mexico. Can you imagine? Like, I just can't imagine that. Like a big match setting. The English coming into Mexico looking to get a victory. We're going to make it as tough as possible, knowing that we're 90 minutes away from a quarterfinal appearance. But we're not stopping England. We're not. Like, I know I'm biased. I know I can get excited at times, but I can also be a realist. I see the round of 16 as our max here, especially if we get a tough matchup like England. If we had gotten maybe a Croatia or maybe an Ecuador or maybe an Uzbekistan, maybe then we'd have a chance. But if it's England, we're done, bro. We're done. And that's okay. I think round of 16 is not a bad thing. It's okay. Next up, it's kind of the same situation for the USA as they're matched up against Spain. And it's just tough. It's tough for CONCACAF teams. We have to be playing at a very high level. Dies here. Spain goes through, and I think pretty easily. And then the last round of 16 matchup, the Netherlands playing against Colombia. If we're going based off how they're playing right now, this is the Netherlands. They have to go. They lost in the semifinal of the Euros to a very good English team, but they've shown time and time again, even at the World Cup in 2022, that they can play at a very high level. The Netherlands defeats Colombia to move on to the quarterfinals. The final eight of the World Cup a year out starts with France against Ecuador. Ecuador ain't doing it. This is where it ends. This is where it ends. I think France is stronger side than Ecuador. We'll play at a high level. We'll show up. France wins this matchup. But hey, being part of the quarterfinals for Ecuador, it's a major achievement. Major achievement in my opinion. Argentina going up against Paraguay. This was a good one. This was a good one because if you're telling me that Paraguay has made it all the way to the quarterfinals, then we're talking about a team that has completely caught fire and has found that Cinderella type form. Whereas Argentina, I mean, it's a big name. It's big players. Messi. I still just can't do it. I can't do it, this matchup. On the other side of the bracket, we have a banger. Portugal against England. For as good as I think Portugal will be next year, England has an ability to make it deep in these tournaments. Sure, you can criticize how they play in those big moments, in those final matches where they have fallen short, but they do have a skill, an ability to just go far. At minimum, make it to the semifinals. England's defeating Portugal here. They're going to do it, and they're going to be at a World Cup semifinal once again. And then lastly, an incredible matchup, Spain versus Netherlands. Netherlands could definitely have that upset potential here because their squad is that good. But it's Spain, bro. It's Spain. We've seen what they could do with Nico Williams on one side. Yamal's first World Cup ever. Are you kidding me? He's going to do amazing things. Morata through the middle. Rodri behind them. Pedri behind them. Like, the talent is ridiculous. Spain's just looking so good right now. They're looking so good right now. They win this matchup. Now we made it to the semifinals. It's some of the best matchups I've ever seen. Just straight up, some of the best matchups I've ever seen. France-Argentina. The 2022 FIFA World Cup final gets a rematch. France-Argentina. Who wants to go to the final? Who wants to go to the final? Dembele, Barcola, Desiree Doué, Mbappe up front against an Argentina team that has talked a lot of smack to France in the 4 years since. That once again being the villain to the French, and the French looking to get their lick back. Are you kidding me, bro? This is what the World Cup is about. If this is a semifinal matchup that we could get here in the U.S., then I'm all for it. Like, I truly am. I would have Argentina going through. I still see them. As just one of the strongest teams in world football. They can take down this French team. They will. Argentina goes through. And on the other side, to match the hype and level of Argentina versus France, a rematch of the 2024 Euros final, England going up against Spain. The narrative of England trying to get the victory here, being 90 minutes away from a World Cup final against the team that they just weren't able to top at the Euros a couple of years ago in Spain. A team that completely balled out all tournament long in Spain. This matchup is just as attractive as that other semifinal matchup. These are probably the two best matchups that we could get just outright. If we're looking at the top 4 international teams, this is probably it right here. I would have Spain going through. Thomas Tuchel, maybe he can break the curse for England, but Spain's too good. Spain is too damn good. Y'all saw what they did at the Euros against this same would be in a World Cup final, which then gives us probably, like, I'm getting chills thinking about it, probably one of the most exciting World Cup finals that we could possibly get going into the tournament, because I mentioned this to Saltero. It is so clear this year going into the World Cup that these are the two best teams in international football right now. It wasn't as clear in 2022. It's clear now. It is clear now that Argentina and Spain are still the top 2. And the discussion continues to be, who's better? Who's better? There's arguments for both sides. I think the narrative for Spain is incredibly strong. I think it makes complete sense for Spain's trajectory for them to end up as World Cup champions coming off of the Euros victory. But then for Argentina, the story they're shaping up for themselves is potentially to become the greatest international team of all time. Because I'm sorry, if Argentina wins this tournament, if they get back-to-back World Cup victories with back-to-back Copa America victories as well, it's the greatest international dynasty we've ever seen. So that's what we have going for both these countries going into this star-studded matchup. Messi going back to a World Cup final and what will definitely be his last World Cup against the next generation, against the all one. This is what just makes the most sense. And I think it would make for one of the greatest World Cup finals of all time if we were able to see this matchup happen. I have Argentina versus Spain in the final, and I have Argentina winning it. I have Argentina winning it. I know that for the trajectory, for the story of Spain, I think it makes sense for them to win it. It really does. And I know that's probably what Salter would argue. But I just think Argentina is looking to not just achieve greatness here. They want to stamp themselves as one of the most iconic and legendary teams of all time. They're looking to cement, to give zero argument to the GOAT debate with Lionel Messi winning his second World Cup, but then also to the international team debate. Forget Brazil 1970. This would be the greatest international team of all time if they win this trophy. I think what they're aiming for is the highest amount of glory I think I've ever seen. And it would be truly incredible if they do it against one of the best challengers in Spain. Folks, please let me know down below, how the hell does your World Cup bracket look? Who do you have winning? You can use mine if you want and just go through that, or you can make your own. But please let me know all your thoughts, your predictions as we are 418 days out from the World Cup. Let me know down below how you're feeling and what you think will happen. I will catch you guys next time. Peace.